was something new for them, and that's closing out a game. But they did it, so they're 1 for 1 in that scenario, I would say. Works out.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. And they put themselves in a pretty good spot, I think, with this draft. Like, they've got a good mix of kind of playmaking, decent scaling with the Sven, a mid-Coddle who should have a very free game. And I feel like they're going to hit this... Oh, yeah, hold that thought.
Oh, boy, Karua. Hey, it's time to run. All the shards, the treants, the trees.
They kind of blocked themselves.
Too. Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
That got kind of weird.
Like, yeah, the Sven was surrounded, but the ice shards also blocked Ant from killing him, basically. Okay.
So no first blood that time. Because it worked for a second. Then all of a sudden, it was back in just Sven escaping. So he'll walk all the way back to base. He'll be fine. They'll try to get their bounty runes, which Moonlight's going to get his for free as the team stacks up on this one by the river. I did place a deep ward. Maybe that'll help them get something as time goes on.
Yeah, should give us a lot of intel. Very unlikely to be dewarded too. Well, okay, they find some camps in the jungle. Okay, making sure that the Sven has the jungle to fall back on.
Okay, so as we get started here, we've got one more video saved for you guys. It's from Ush, and the question was, he is the one who makes the calls and the shots for the team. So I kind of want to hear him break that down a little bit more, and we'll take a listen to what he has to say about shot calling.
I call the shots when it comes to like the major in-game plays, I would say, because I'm the captain. That's kind of my role. And I do have quite a bit of experience playing competitive in the past and going to LANs and whatnot, stuff like that. So I feel like the team definitely has trusted me to make those kind of calls. Everyone definitely communicates. They make their own plays. They call different things in the game, like, I'm coming to gank here or do this and that. But when it comes to major plays like Roche or pushing towers or trying to end the game, generally it'll be me that makes that call. And it's kind of nice just having that one voice when it comes to the major plays so that you're always on the same page.
Shot calling, definitely a very important part of the game, and you could see, in different scenarios, it's nice to know who's making the ending call. And for the side of another NA team, it is Ush, who I believe has the most experience or lifetime experience professionally on this team, right?
Yeah, maybe in as far as like when his career started, like I was gonna say, like, all of like Div 2 NA almost. Like he started his career before people like BSJ started his career. So he's an old timer, although he's not necessarily old. He was just very young when he started playing. He's definitely grown up a lot since then. He was kind of one of those, young core players who could be a bit immature, but now he's like got a very level head.
Yeah, his picture on Wikipedia, he looks like 12. Potentially. But I know the
probably
feeling.
from that 2015 event or something.
Yeah, he was on Sneaky Nick's Assassins when they played at ESO1 New York, which was the first event I ever watched in the crowd. That was a fun event. On first day, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, back then he was just a mid. Like he was like a SF player. That was his signature hero.
Moonlight? Getting run a little bit, but do they have glimpse or anything? They don't. They just have the kinetic field on the Thunderstrike, but the slowdown, the right click's not enough to dispose, and that puts Marcy in an awkward spot. Skyward taking some damage, but just not enough here for another NA team to get that first blood out.
Yeah, still some really good harass here. There's a nice rune deny coming from Coddle, stopping the SF from getting the bottle refill, and this top lane is probably the one lane that's going better than the others for Ant, with Marcy only hitting 8 CS, but the other two lanes looking really good for Eternity.
So far, so good. We've talked about how their laning phases looked okay at times, and I think in this series it's kind of shined a little bit. They've led both games in the early parts, and they've gone 1-1 thus far, but like the lanes are solid, and they know their matchups pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. And they've done a good job, like, with some surprise picks and in their drafts, picking these flex heroes. Like, they first phase of Marcy, you don't know where it's going. So it's hard to kind of counter them in lanes when they're drafting smart, doing stuff like the Dazzle made against the Pingo.
Well, feeling his first blood there. Telekinesis should be, and it is for Moonlight. I thought maybe they'd give that to Skyward, but still going the same way for Eternity.
Rubik's and kill stealing. It's the You know, going back to like Yapsor on Secret, it's the classic. That's why Fadeball is the best spell to take secure kills. It just feels very satisfying.
I don't know if you saw that post on Reddit recently, the one that was like the master of kill steals, and it was like 4 heroes, and then somebody was like, no. This is the real master of kill steals, and it was like Oracle with level 2 Purifying Flames.
That's a good one too. We just don't see enough Oracle though, unfortunately, but yep. Whereas Rubik is like the most played competitive Dota hero in like history. So
Yeah, and he was kind of quiet last year, but this year Rubik's kind of come back into the mix. And I'm kind of hoping it stays that way through the patch. He's just one of those exciting heroes to watch and can be a playmaker from the 4 position.
yeah, there's a few heroes that just don't go away and are always fun, and you know, you never want to over nerf them, like the Rubiks, the Enigmas, the Earthshaker. I mean, Earthshaker's been a bit over nerfed for a while. I feel like he's due for some nice little buffs. But definitely the fun big team fighters are always, you know, fan favorites, player favorites, make Dota more exciting to watch. Whereas, you know, some of these heroes that never get to see much competitive play because they're just not very interesting. You know, Clinks, for example, like, no one cares about Clinks. He's kind of, I mean, I play a ton of Clinks. I like the hero, but he's not exactly a flashy, fun hero to watch.
Yeah, Quinks isn't cool anymore. He was a while back, but not anymore. He's quiet in the I don't get picked at all phase. One day. Maybe, what would they say? March 6th is the patch, so maybe they'll bring Quinks back into the mix.
Is that right after the major? Is that how that works?
I think so. I think it's like the day after the major. They're like, hey, we're working on something. They're not going to tell us what, but, you know, there's something. Oh, no. The stacks that Blessed Kid was making for himself. Oh, no.
Oh, he's getting them. Don't worry. Blessed Kid still got all of it, I think, from what I saw. He didn't get, okay, the medium camp, no, but the big camp he got all of. But yeah, nice rotation from RRL to come in, and with the level 3 raises, they've got the vision there as well.
Yeah, they denied their own obs. Meanwhile, Skyward running and dying to Argus, so they got first blood in that lane, but they end up losing the Marcy. Ice Path with the Stormhammer, but the damage a little bit lacking to get Ush.
Yeah. He's got the TP back to base, TP back to lane. Very
He's
hard
been getting
to
solo experience because the Warden's been in the jungle with the SF.
Yeah. It's always nice too, with how important that level 6 can be. Comes right back, trades some more harass here. The only downside of this for the Nature's Prophet is some of your gold does go into buying more TP scrolls, which are not as cheap as they used to be. 100 gold a pop, so.
Top lane, Argus. He's going to get run down eventually. The last shot coming in from Blessed Kid, who's got the Illuminate. He's been moving around the map, maybe not so comfortable over mid, while RRL is just doing what he can to get as much CS as possible, and he's sitting here 48 and 11 at the top of the CS marker, and he's got Boots of Travel coming in 7 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Good timing. Like, I'd say pretty standard timing. He's actually CS-wise 4th. Usually you're thinking Coddle CS, you're like top 1, top 2, top net worth, so he's actually had a bit of a, you know, slow-ish game, but still 7-minute Boots of Travel. Nothing wrong with that, and the Spirit Vessel follow-up. Very, very standard Keeper of the Light itemization here.
Boots Travel will see how much he's going to use that to move around, especially once he gets at least the urn in that Spirit Vessel, right? Like, you want to kind of get those charges, work on that, and move around, get some damage out early, and kind of stick to what Eternity's been doing this series, and that's early aggression.
Yeah, Disruptor just coming in. Wherever the Coddle goes, they seem to be following him. They've done a really good job of limiting his farm. But now
like
mid lane, yeah.
CS has not been as high as maybe you would have liked. They've got 3 heroes for both teams over mid, and that is the party for the 8-minute rune, I would assume, at some point.
Yeah.
There's an arcane rune for RRL.
It's interesting because usually it's like a decision with Coddle, like, okay, do we try and invade jungle? And most teams just let Coddle farm and say, we'll just beat you later, because it takes a lot of, you know, often wasted resources to like invade an enemy jungle. You have to have a hero that can steal stacks like SF. So they've made it work.
Oh, he threw him down, not on the rest of the team. I feel like if he had just hit him, the other 2 heroes, he might have survived there. Skyward's coming in with a rebound, and now they've got the kill and a feeling. No unleash, though, so the damage is a little bit lacking from this Marcy. They'll get 1, which ends up at least affording them a trade.
Oh. This SF build, Boots of Travel Rush. I mean, the Coddle Boots of Travel is standard, but the SF, what is RL's doing some old school stuff.
Boost to travel, blink BKB is the cue right now.
Yeah, maybe he's getting item tips from Ush, because this is probably something Ush used to do back in like 2014. He's like, what do you go in SF? And Ush is like, boots to travel, dude. Boots to travel into like Shadow Blade.
Let me just take a look at old Sneaky Nick's Assassin games and see if I could confirm that for you. Meanwhile, top lane, Blessed Kid going down to Ush. So he'll end up dropping out. He's been trying to move around a lot.
Yeah, it feels like, I think RL looking at his team's lineup is like, I'm not the carry, you're not going to go for your Mask of Madness or your Dragonlance type stuff. He'll get BKB, but with a Blink Dagger, so he likely will play more around, being a spellcaster, hitting Razors, early Requiems, and, trying to come to some early fights, because they can't afford to have all three of their cores play greedy and try and be the carry.
Right, and you see them lose feeling there, and that's a little bit rough for them. But now it's a 1K lead for another NA team, and they haven't had a game where they've had this early lead, right? So trying to make a move over mid for RRL. Good blinding light, pushing him back, goes to the Requiem, lands on all these heroes. Now he's looking for the Razors to get the kill on a Skyward. The damage is going to be enough to finally kill him. Dual Breath, and the Illuminate does finally pop RRL. They just don't have the heroes responding to this at all. Trolls staying top. They have Tusk staying bottom, and with 2 heroes here only for another NA team, they don't get anything done.
Yeah, this is kind of the problem when you have these kind of cores. They all, want to be either farming, and even if Nature's Prophet is showing up, they're all these just like kind of right-clicky cores. It's not like you've got this, mid-Ember Spirit or an off-lane, Mars or somebody who's TPing in with a big ulti to catch everybody and punish them. The heroes that TP in to punish aggression are just right-clickers, so there's not really any punish. Attorney can make these moves, go in a core, and know that there's not really anything that's going to cost them. Whereas often we've seen, Attorney played too aggressive, like in the last few games and some of their other series, and things go, astray. That's just not the case against a draft like this.
God Strength, Walrus Punch, Snowball over to the Rubik. But again, 4 heroes here for the side of Eternity, and Blessed Kid's going to get a kill there onto the Warden. And immediately a
great
smoke.
job getting involved. Yeah. They want to maybe get into these enemy ancients. They've got the ward there. I think SF is well aware of the potential for this to happen, but they're going to even maybe consider swinging towards mid lane. They could go on this.
They pop the Spirit Form, but still, RL, he's sticking away from the mid lane and not actually getting touched at the moment. Shard, Snowball all the way out on Akarwa, and they've got Wrath of Nature bouncing as they go to the Glimpse with the Static Storm, and they get a kill there on Akarwa. So they'll end up losing the tower. They will steal the Walrus Punch. Illuminate hits 3. Macropyre on 2 with the Ice Path. Blinding Light. Is the damage there to get more than 1? It looks like it's there to get all 3.
Oh my god. This Coddle just annihilating everyone, deleting them from these fights. And, a nice move, I think, to go on the Sven, but just the ability to instantly show up with the Boots of Travel, and they were already nearby because of that smoke. They just come in and punish heavily. This Coddle is just a huge problem right now with the amount of damage he's dishing out, and they don't really have any hero that addresses that. They don't have that ability to really jump the backlines and go on the Coddle outside of maybe a Tusk who's just a support.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what another NA team's going to do. Like, they're waiting on Troll to get a Battle Fury and farm from there, but, like, what's your SF going to do in terms of damage? He's gone Boots of Travel going into the Blink Dagger. He's got Invis, and he'll look to maybe get a Requiem out on top of Karwa to get back-to-back kills on this hero, but now he's under a Sentry, and there's a Stormhammer with Moonlight, Fate Bolt, and, well, RRL, he needs to run because he is in trouble. Whew. Almost dying. Back to back. Blessed Kid, meanwhile, stealing the stacks that were made via the Shadow Fiend, too. This is really rough for the side of another NA team. It feels like nothing's really coming together for them at the moment. And there's the Spirit Vessel feeling hit with that stolen Walrus Punch from a distance, allowing them to get the telekinesis and the kill for Blessed Kid.
The seeds of fortune.
This is getting really interesting for the side of Eternity, as they've got themselves a 1K lead at the moment, 10-4 in favor of Eternity, and the aggression that we've seen game in, game out from them is, working again in the early parts. They just got to continue to keep it going, and we'll see what they can do, because
they've held on to the lead once, but they haven't been able to hold on to it both games. And I think for right now, they're in a decent spot. I think the aggression, though, has to start to come out on Argus because Argus is got the Battle Fury, and that's where the farm's going to start to pick up for this troll. Well, let's see what they can do with this one as they are setting up on RRL over mid, feeling... Well, he's going to be right here to try and protect RRL, but they've got to dispose. They'll keep him away from the Disruptor. They'll get the kill on RRL. Ice Path, Macro Pyre, the Warden standing in the fire and the flames as now they bring over Argus, but he uses that ult to try and get these kills. He's still low on health, but enough damage to at least get Skyward and Moonlight. So a trade 2 for 2 that kind of helps another NA team to stabilize a bit.
Sorry, back with you, B Cup. Sorry about that. These are much needed fights. They are coming at the cost, SF going down, but at this point you kind of need to just take these even trades and try and give your team some room and some map to farm because of the kind of greedy nature of your draft. Like your troll's got a Battle Fury until you see Yasha BKB or something.
Right.
Really, you need BKBs on multiple cores before you're super ready to fight.
Snowball Requiem. 8 lands, 1 raise, 2 raise, 3 raise, struck him out. Karwa dies, and that's the combo that they pulled off in game 2 that I thought was going to lead them to win that game, but it ended up being the series being even, and now I kind of want to see what the odds are saying with the game net worth being even, and it's...
Wow.
What? I think... It makes no sense to me. I don't know how. I'm not an odds maker, but 5-1 on Eternity with an even game at the moment by esportsbet.io. I'm not sure if I agree with that.
No, they may just see something in the draft, so I don't know what it is, but that is impressive. Because I look at Anstraft and just think there's way too much greed going on here.
Troll bottom lane. They've got Ush coming in, right clicks through, and Argus will have another kill with that activated Battle Trance. So it is kind of working out. They are starting to pull themselves out a net worth lead, but they need to really start to jump down the throats of Eternity, right?
No. Yeah, I don't think they're in any rush to doing too many plays on the ad side. If anything, it's Eternity who want to hit like an early item timing on Sven. I mean, he's got the blink now. Even pre-BKB, I think they want to be fighting and using this Sven as an initiator. He can set up a lot of this Cuddle damage. Cuddle's the one hero you can't really afford to have getting picked off because so much of your ability to take fights and make plays and just deal damage comes from Cuddle. So I do like the idea of seeing Eternity, keep looking for these kills and playing aggressive. Punish the fact that Ant are this, very greedy lineup.
So will greed be punished? Well, Disruptor will be. That's a 2-shot and probably a tower as well. So bottom, all the tier 1 towers are out. They look over for the Warden. They've got the Walrus Punch. Ice Path avoided with the Snowball. And the Illuminate will come in and Blessed Kid will get the kill. They've got that Wrath of Nature upgraded with the Ags, but they just don't have anybody else to go in once they all get hit by that and get rooted up. Skyward coming over. Ush, that's not the best spot to TP out from, but now that the Dispose is used, he tries to TP out again. They've got a Telekinesis coming in from Moonlight. There's the rebound of Illuminate, and Blessed Kid has another. They also ended up stealing themselves Wrath of Nature. We'll throw that out immediately.
Yeah, nice little find. I think could maybe hold it for some damage in a team fight, but I was getting a bit greedy there. One of that tier 2 tower got super loads in deny range, and you're just thinking, I'll just finish this one off. But playing against a hero like Marcy, you just can't make those aggressive moves. Just push it from Fog with your treants or something. Battle Transform.
Yeah, and dead. Might have been why he used that Wrath of Nature before, knowing that he might die in a second.
So Battle Trance on Battle Trance. I don't think I've ever seen that before, myself at least. Like I've seen Rubik's use it, but never like against a Battle Trance troll.
It's an anime battle when that happens.
Yep.
Nobody dies and just fighting without death being a fear. Karwa. What does Karwa have right now? He's got Echo Saber, Blink Dagger, and then going into BKB. Okay. He's in an okay spot.
Nope.
Right there with the troll.
Yeah, it's tough because your core matchups aren't the greatest. Nature's Prophet's a good matchup in lane, but later on in the game, Nature's Prophet's very good at kiting you. So I think this Sven is gonna.
Oh, good static storm.
Have some issues.
Requiem, and that'll land on a 3. They're actually gonna wrap around the back going for Blessed Kid.
Wow.
Moonlight Skyward, all dying. Glimpse back into the hands of the dire side. Ice Path lands on RRL. And Blessed Kid's able to walk away. Argus, he doesn't have battle trance for 6 seconds, but I don't think they're going to be able to burst him down before he ends up getting it off. I say that. Oh my God, I was almost a liar. But I am not a liar. I never lie. And Carlo, well, he's not going to get that kill on Argus. The battle trance goes off, and the right clicks are in on a Blessed Kid. Illuminate's not enough damage. Spirit Vessel, TP. Ooh, 39 health. Oh boy. It was close, but never in doubt he was going to survive the entire time.
Yep.
No sweat.
That was just such a great fight. The static storm from Feeling catching so many there, and then all the glimpse backs as well. They may get punished on the way out. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Feeling that glimpses are, yeah, okay. That's too strong.
What a spell. Okay. Somehow survives. That just looked like similar to bottom lane where he just hung around a little bit too long, but he gets bailed out by perhaps the disruptor bit there, and maybe we'll see a support kill. Yeah.
Yep. This should be another one. And did they deny the ward?
I think he did, yeah.
All right. Loses his life, though. I like this ward. Gives them vision enough to get a glimpse.
Yep. They throw it out, but no follow-up.
Kind of gives away the vision that they have, I would assume. But maybe not if they're assuming the creep just caught a glimpse of them.
Yeah, I think the creeps were there, so probably they had it regardless. But 5k gold lead now for Ant. They've really stabilized things here, and the troll, being as farmed as he is, I think they can kind of take Roche whenever now, or any kill can set them up Roche. They're smoking towards it. I'll see what they do here. It makes sense to try and find a pickoff or two, and there's multiple Eternity Heroes that are getting collapsed on.
And this fan might be the one who dies. He's over to the side. The shards are in. They caught Carlo, but the troll's not going with them. Glimpse into the static storm. Walrus punch. BKB looking for the raises and the damage. Carlo trying to run with the war cry. Argus losing his Mithril hammer while that's going on too, and that BKB. But no, the shards. The chase from the warden.
Huge. Oh, that's so bad. Sven, his BKB just arrived. If it had arrived like a second sooner, he could have popped it to like avoid the glimpse, but he got glimpse back, pulled into the kinetic field, and by the time he popped BKB, his fate was mostly sealed. It looked like it was going to escape in the end, but what a great snipe from the Tusk. And the reason they smoked up to this area of the map to find kills is because they want to get Roshan, and this will be an easy Roche claim. No contest here. Even though there's a smoke there, maybe a fight afterwards.
Without Sven and God Strength and the damage, it's so risky. You're just going to lose numbers, I would say.
Yep.
Telekinesis, Argus. And he's not going to be able to save Feeling.
Yep.
And Feeling can't save himself.
Don't run from your feelings.
No. Take him head on.
Yep. I love the Shadow Fiend build we're saying. This is old school, you know. This is the full-on spellcaster. He's got the Arcane Blink queued up to go with the BKB, Boots of Travel. Full-on spellcaster.
Where's the Shadow Blade? Wasn't that a part of it as well?
Yeah, that was more like right-clicky. That was like the pub build. You go Shadow Blade and Requiem on top of people, but then it kind of evolved and became the like Blink Requiem.
Yules.
The Yules, exactly. The Yules into like Blink on someone, you Yules them, and then you channel your Requiem, and you combine that with Arcane Blink. You combine it with like Refresher, Ag Scepter, these kinds of fun items. Hex is also a great one too.
Back when you wanted to go to LAN events and blow out the bass.
Yep.
Because Requiem is a very deep sound when you're in person.
And SF used to also have a level 25 talent that was like 40% cooldown reduction, maybe even 50% cooldown reduction. So you get like Hex and have like Hex plus Arcane Blink where cooldown reduction stacked, and your Hex would have like a 9-second cooldown. It was just absurd. It was a lot of fun those days, but not for other players.
Take the outposts, continuing to play across the river. This time, this game not paying for it. BKB also going to be finished for Argus when he gets that courier back. So he'll have the ability to
Get some magic immunity under his belt. And again, Ush going Ags Gleipnir.
Yep.
No real shock.
No. This is the offlane caller build that he will always do. A few other offlane calls will always do. The deviation we've seen has been what he follows us up with, whether, you know, Hex, AC, etc., what kind of items he feels makes most sense for the game.
Yeah, I know a couple times we've seen Orchid, but it feels like they lean on Ush a little bit more to be like this secondary carry
Yeah.
and kind of offer the team more than just the Orchid silence. Walrus Punch coming through. Eritus on the run and a raise hits. There's another and one more. Right click to get that kill. RL running him down.
Troll was looking for a Wrath of Nature route on the Rubik there, which never came. Too many creeps on the map, I guess.
Not enough bounces.
Yeah, bottom, though. They found Blessed Kid. Oh, no, they haven't. Oh, maybe they have.
Run. Rebound. Some speed. There you go.
Zoom, zoom. 550 move speed.
But they've got this ward, so now they know where he is, but they just don't have the glimpse.
Yeah.
Disruptor is unfortunately mid. So he's got Ags now on Blessed Kid. At least they've got the Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, that's nice. Gives them, you know, a bit more team fight, which is something they're lacking, especially the control against all these right-clicking
Ice Path.
carries. Off the mark.
Doesn't quite connect. He's got Battle Trance and a BKB. Skyward, I don't know if you want to be there
Very far
anymore.
forward.
Will-O-Wisp, they've got the sweep. It's on to 2 with the Spirit Vessel hitting on a feeling, but he'll pop the BKB and go into the Battle Trance trying to right-click. It's a right-click battle between him and Marcy, and it's not a carry Marcy, so he'll win it. No unleash in that moment.
Still okay for Attorney. You just lose one. It's an offlaner, but, you know, BKB is getting popped. The Aegis getting stalled out. Not a good fight, but not a bad fight. It's kind of one of these neutral ones, but this is a huge kill if they can get it. Sven, one hit on Ush. He was so close.
Requiem! Doesn't even land, but they got the raise. That'll connect. Okay.
So close. Well, that's unfortunate for Karwa. He's kind of the one who needs to step it up and carry this game. As time goes on, you know, you can't really look at your Coddle as the damage, and unfortunately for Sven, 1-5-5. It's been a tough time, like playing Sven against all these ranged heroes and Troll. Even if you get on top of Troll, he just turns and fights you with Battle Trance and Lifesteal through like your massive damage. It's just not a good Sven game outside of the Nature's Prophet matchup, which I don't actually think is massively Sven favored.
Oh, Blessed Kid. Gleipnir, right click, sees in trouble, Will-O-Wisp, and, well, Argeus doesn't get hit by the Wisp. So he's able to just run down this Coddle. They have really extended this lead.
Yeah, and it doesn't really feel like there's much fight in Eternity with just where their draft is at, the lack of items, the, you know, kind of lack of team fight as well at this point. They just aren't really seeing any plays to make, and Anna just farming the entire map, getting more and more farmed on a draft that, you know, has 3 scaling cores that are all going to just get scarier and scarier.
We gotta protect this tower. So I don't think this is the only thing that falls if they let it go down.
Well, maybe too late, though. There's no Aegis on Argeus, so they're really pushing things on the ant side, wanting to take advantage of the Coddle being dead.
BKB, God Strength, rooted on the first hit. Static Storm is there. They've got the Walrus Punch even with the BKB. They'll get the kill to Karwa, doesn't have buyback. They'll fight Skyward again. It's not this carry Marcy, so it's not looking like it's going to matter as they go to the Blink with the Requiem, and that's the Arcane Blink. That's going to be 3. Now make it a 4th, maybe. Glimpse pulled back in. Will-O-Wisp won't do anything. Just to help this building last a second longer.
Very clean fight there. Just using the Troll as like the perfect bait. He just waits and then times his Battle Trance BKB perfectly, chewing up 2 heroes alive. He just man fights the Sven head on. Doesn't care about the God Strength Sven. Just keeps him locked down with the Basher as well. And they get rewarded with 1 and maybe 2 lanes of racks here. Just nothing Eternity can do in these team fights. The Sven just doesn't have enough farm.
Backdoor, protecting them for a second.
Yep.
Still, though, losing the bottom set of racks in the tier 3 over mid does not feel great. And by the way, RRL going into the refresher, so straight just Requiem damage.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, his spell damage in these fights is Gonna really start to add up now. Has got the Nether Shoal for some extra spell damage as well.
Feeling. Getting run at by everybody on the Radiant.
A little deep there. An instant smoke from Eternity. Feeling like they have to get out on the map. They probably really want to get some vision down, knowing that next Roshan is in 1 to 4 minutes time. You know, they ideally, if Ant just get another Roshan, it just feels like maybe game over at that point. They'll go high ground and get another lane of racks. There's no winning a fight against an Aegis troll.
It's gonna be tough, and they smoke up. They try to find anything they can, but nothing is showing itself. A little bit different than the last game, where another NA team were showing themselves quite often in the lane and getting punished for it.
Yeah, I feel like there was a strict team talk after that. I was just probably, let's focus, guys. These guys may be 0-6, but they're not pushovers. Every team down here in Div 2 is competitive, and you make those mistakes, we'll lose games, as obviously they found out in game number 2.
So, right now, a 17k lead. Items being built aplenty here for the side of another NA team that feels like that'll power spike them into a finish.
Yep.
Especially this Axon feeling now. Ooh, find the Sven, Requiem, BKB, Stormhammer on to 2. The damage is starting to pile up, but he goes to the TP attempt, and well, Karawa's BKB is not going to last long enough, so Ush is able to get a kill there onto the Sven. And Roche is 40 seconds away, but so is Sven's life.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They did manage to steal teleportation on Rubik in the top lane, but that's really a tiny, tiny consolation prize. Is another kill on the poor Eternity carry, who's just having a rough one. Definitely not a fan of the Sven pick. I think just because there's a Nature's Prophet offlane isn't merit enough to pick Sven. You kind of have to look at how the hero matches up against the other cores, against the supports, and outside of Nature's Prophet, this is just a really bad Sven game. Heroes like Tusk even are great for kiting Sven. Go have Billy pierce through BKB.
Oh, Skyward.
Yeah. Live, but that's BKB down though.
Yeah, BKB being down and trying to defend and feel safe is things that don't happen often.
Yeah. Roche is there for the taking if they want to fall back and take it, but yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to go for any kind of high ground. No need to. Pick up your items. It's Satanic now. They're still sticking around. RGS is saying, no, let's... Aegis, what is this? That's some tryhard stuff. But there we go. They've scouted Roche now with the tree, and so they will fall back, and I don't think there's any way for Eternity to contest this one. All they can do is sit back, wait for a high ground defense, which is going to be damn near impossible against the Aegis.
Who's getting the shard? Warden,
Okay.
I think.
Yep. Interesting. Yeah, one of the things I noticed, I guess RL's not a right-clicking SF, so it doesn't make sense to give to him, but even last game when they gave it to their carry SF, he wasn't actually using the shard.
Yeah, not much. Stormhammer, and oh boy, they've got Karawa just going after Feeling. Snowball, and with the Will-O-Wisp, they get the kill in a Moonlight. Now they're starting to back away, but with the Will-O-Wisp and the damage, they'll get the kill on Ush, who doesn't have buyback. The Warden with the kick. They're getting the Marcia away, but they're going with the Requiem. They get the kill on the Aerotes. They'll buy back on this Rubik. Stormhammer misses, but the Snowball's pulling him closer to the Marcia as well as the Sven, able to blink away. But they've got a telekinesis coming in from Moonlight and a Requiem from Moonlight as well. So they should be able to get the Warden. 3 heroes dead on the side of another NA team.
Ooh. The entire time. Yeah, Troll wasn't there for any of that. Like, that was a little bit of remnants of what we saw last game, where just some, bit of sloppiness, bad decision making. They get kind of caught in that top lane, but also they force that fight when Troll was in bottom. He'd TP'd his way and was pushing out bottom lane and farming the bottom jungle. So you've got to fight around your Troll. He's your strongest hero. He's one with the Aegis.
Bottom lane though, Sven.
Yeah. No BKB.
Oh dear, no BKB, no God Strength. Now he is in so much trouble, and he's just going to get ripped to pieces by Argus.
Yeah. Similar thing we've seen last few games where Ant have done a really good job. They maybe lose a fight, but BKBs go on cooldown, and then they use the fact that they have like these drafts where they have a lot of pickoff to instantly just run at their opponents and find pickoffs on key cores who are like, oh, Sven's like, I'm going to farm, I'm a Sven, I can't really be ganked, but just 1 or 2 heroes can kill you when you don't have BKB.
And even if he has that BKB, the Static Storm's got the Ags upgrade, so
Yeah, that's true.
being out there is pretty rough.
So, see what Ant look to do. They still got the Aegis for another 2.5 minutes, so good chance they try and press the advantage here. Just, they need to do it around the troll here. It does look like they are grouping up towards mid, but Disruptor alone bottom. That was sloppy.
Being out a bit too far. So the aggression that came out from Eternity allowed like these greedy cores from another NA team to kind of pan out. They're all 3 at the top of the net worth. Like they didn't take advantage of the fact that Ant really didn't exactly have the quickest lineup to start activating with.
No. Yeah, I think one of the things with Eternity is like the Coddle came online super early, but Sven just wasn't really ready to take fights. Went for this fast blink, but like a Echo Saber blink, Sven just isn't really dishing out enough damage, and troll kill would be huge.
Would be, but it's just the Aegis. He still has Battle Trance. They need to start to retreat. They go to the kick. They've got the Walrus Punch. There's the Requiem, but he gets the BKB off, and now Argus is going to go in with that Battle Trance, chasing, bashing, and hoping that the rest of the team could follow up with this. They've got the Gleipnir. They have the right clicks. They get the kill onto the Jakiro, who's going to be dead for 50 seconds. Requiem right on top of Karawa. He'll be dead for 70. No buyback. Shards kick again. This Coddle push right back into Ush. They get the kill into Moonlight. They'll buy back on this Coddle, but it's really not looking good for him.
Yeah, this may be it. They've only got the Coddle really to defend with the Marcy alive as well, but no BKB, no Unleash, no real damage to dish out, and this will be at least Mega Creeps. Likely the GG here, as Ant just got too overwhelmingly strong across all their cores.
Oh,
all right.
Base. That's not great.
Yeah, no. All right. Yeah, you saw what happened to your buddy there.
But yet,
guys.
hello?
Guys.
Argus?
Nice Ghost Scepter.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's Dota. Comeback.
We'll see about that. If we have to wait for another Roshan, like, come on, guys. This game was over there. They literally just had to hit tier 4s in the throne. And instead they, went into the Fountain.
Yeah, they watched them all die. That was not great.
That's look. This will happen. You get to the end of these seasons, and you kind of know where you're going to end. I mean, for Ant, there's still something at stake, which is prize money. For Eternity, no prize money for bottom 2. So they're playing for fun, and they're the ones making Ant earn this win. They could easily just GG out because they're not playing for anything. But Ant, who need they need to get this win to potentially a couple $1,000s, maybe even like $4,000 or $5,000 prize money difference. Not insignificant cash, and they
Well, it felt
do have a lot of room
for a second.
Yeah,
considering they ran into the base.
Yes, there's a lot of room for error with how big of a lead they have and their draft, but we'll see. Eternity, they believe in the comeback. Skyward's calling it.
We'll see. 27,000 net worth deficit. I've seen bigger comebacks before. I can see it happening now. Maybe.
Yeah, this would be. There's been Mega Creeps comebacks, but one in a situation like this where your draft shouldn't ever come back from Mega Creeps or even any kind of a deficit would be very, very impressive. But repositioning stuff we saw there, Marcy, pulling people in the Fountain always gives that little bit of an X factor. But I think the issue is, you can see by the way they're playing, they're like, okay, guys, let's not mess around. Probably Ush had some words for him, and they're looking to seal the deal now.
Can we get the Dota Plus odds on the screen for split? If they're available? Not sure. But if they are, if we could get some Dota Plus odds, I'd like to see if it is 100% or 99 to 1. I can actually just check. It is 100 to 0.
Okay. Even after the Fountain.
However, hey, there it is.
I was like, 77? What?
So, fractions of a percent, maybe, possibly. Skyward gets feeling. That's a way to start.
Yeah. Oh,
BKB
Argus.
jumping in, and the Ice Path lands onto the Tusk. They still have the Unleash. Gonna go to the
Kited.
Battle Trance. They'll get the kill in the Moonlight. And now Will-O-Wisp rebound out. Right click's not going to be enough, but they've got the Requiem to get the kill to Skyward. Now Will-O-Wisp pulling in 3, but still, the fear on Arates means he's not going to be able to run, and they look over at the Sven. They'll get the kill there onto Karawa. Snowball over, and they'll call GG. Another NA team will finally finish out the series, taking the 2-1 victory.
Yep, a fun way to end their DPC run. Eternity, you know, congrats to them getting their first win. Definitely, you know, I think overall we saw improvement from series to series.